One of the best books of its time was one called Blue Ocean Strategy. And it's about this whole idea that, you know what, you've got red ocean, which is like where you're competing with competitors. It's very bloody, it's a lot of red, you get all of that. Then we've got like blue ocean where there's like daylights between you and the competitors. And I've never really understood it about why we get ourselves in a position that we become so obsessed about the competitors inside of that marketplace. Now, what we know is that there's always going to be a real estate agent that is technically the cheapest in every market. But if you're not planning on being the cheapest, then how are you planning on winning? The only way to win is ultimately through the design and the experience of what it is that you do in being a great real estate agent. So let's go and have a quick look at designing the experience. We're on the phone, we create an opportunity. Now we're going to go out and we're going to go and do that listing presentation. What happens next? Well, ultimately, we've got the calendar invite. That calendar invite is sent for an hour so that ultimately it schedules that time so that no other agents are going to be coming while you're there doing that listing presentation. Then we send the email, which actually has all of the basic details and confirmation about that particular appointment. In addition to that, we send the SMS reminder with a little link to a pre-meeting survey, which ultimately gathers all the details about that particular client to reinforce what we've already gained during that particular phone call. Then in addition to that, when we turn up to the property, we're going to be wearing a name badge so we clearly identify that we're that local real estate agent. And the most important part, we're going to knock on that door, stand back a few steps, and when someone opens, wear a big smile and say, "Hey, lovely to meet you today. My name's Josh. Shoes on, shoes off." It's all of the basics that ultimately build up in building that customer experience that allows someone to go, "Hey, you know what? You're seriously good at what it is that you do." And in Blue Ocean Strategy, you don't worry about what actually happens with the competitors. You worry about what you do that actually ultimately sets you apart. And this is a really big part of what great agents do. They're in a position that they're creating their own waves. They're out there, they're ultimately setting a customer experience curve where someone goes, "You're seriously good at what you do, and I want to ultimately use you." How do you do that? You make sure that you're consistent around your calls, around what's just been listed and what's been sold. You help them to go and buy a property so that naturally selling a property through you is easy. You are ultimately in a position, you are highly relevant about what's actually happened, and you ultimately wave to them, you know their names, and you've actually got great relationships because you really care about what it is that you do. Now, you can be obsessed about markets, you can be obsessed about competitors, you can blame all the things that you want, or you can just get seriously good at what you do. Create a blue ocean so there's daylight between you and the competitors, so it's a really natural and easy thing for consumers to make the decision to use you and to pay more for the privilege because you're seriously good at what it is that you do.